What a piece of junk.
This is the Shattered Order podcast.
Go switch off.
If you're looking for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news, information, and theory crafting, you've found the podcast you're looking for. With your hosts, GoodNightPunk and WinKILLERinc.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 177th episode of the Shattered Order podcast. I'm your host, GoodNightPunk, and with me, as always, is my good friend Wink. Wink, what's up, dude?
Man, that is a lot of episodes. Not a lot. I just finished opening my Christmas present from you, which was amazing. But now I'm ready to chat about, we have so much to talk about.
Well, first off, if we were a Mando type of season, this would be season 22 of the Shattered Order podcast.
That is 100% true. Yep. Good Lord, that is hard to believe.
Isn't it? Speaking of Mando, though, no spoilers here, so if everyone listening, don't have to worry. We're not going to give out spoilers, but holy crap, the Mando finale was amazing. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that released today, and of course, you can head over to your podcast app and search for Chosen Ones, and you can find our review coming later this weekend, of course. About the same time that this pod's out, that should be out, actually, so heck yeah, very exciting stuff. And then I think next week, since The Mandalorian's over, we're going to do our recap of Rise of Skywalker on that feed as well. That'll be a lot of fun. Cannot wait to discuss that.
That movie was great too. I can't, like, so much good Star Wars lately. I'm loving it. And we could have easily done the Rise of Skywalker. Well, actually we couldn't because of time and kind of also why we're waiting, but we could have easily done it after seeing the first time through, just that's how good it was and how hyped we were. But I wanted to wait to see it a second time just to see what else I see in it after reading reviews and Easter eggs and all that other kind of fun stuff. It's going to be really fun to do that episode.
I totally agree.
So the
other thing, if you're unaware, we have a podcast listener fantasy football league. And
two of them.
Yes, we filled out 2 leagues, which was pretty awesome. Why don't you tell us who won? Because I would feel like I was gloating if I told everyone who won.
Why don't I say it so you're not tooting your own horn? All right. So in our league number 1, on its second year, Wink became the champion.
Woo!
Based on Aaron Jones? Got you the win on the last
boy.
Day?
By 3 yards. Literally.
3 yards. Yeah, I saw it was you won by 0.3 points or something. So
it's crazy.
Yeah. Who were you fighting? Makodin. Yeah, Makodin didn't seem too happy about those 3 yards.
Yeah, I can imagine. Sorry, buddy. But thanks for playing. That was a lot of fun. The end of that game was super intense as I'm hoping, like, come on, Aaron Jones, come on.
Just give him the ball. Please. That's hilarious.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And the winner of League 2 was the team Necessary Evil. I have a feeling I know who runs that team, but I don't want to credit the wrong person. So Necessary Evil, the team, the number 4 seed in the playoffs, pulled it out in the end, winning League 2. So congratulations to you. a lot of
Thank
fun
you.
this year. I had twice the chance to win, and I did not win in either. So, congratulations to me.
This was the only league that I actually won.
Yeah.
So-
Dude, we'll see. On the opposite side, I would have won this. I would have been a 2-time champion in the one of my other leagues, except Aaron Jones went off, and I lost. So,
Ouch.
I think I was up by 25 points going into that day, or something like that, and Aaron Jones came it back. I didn't think he was gonna do it. I thought I was the automatic champ, and nope. So,
yeah, he's been awesome this
more
season.
reasons for me to hate the Packers, as if I needed them.
That's okay. You can hate the Packers all you want, buddy. You keep on hating. They play your Lions this weekend, actually.
These are not my Lions playing this weekend. Not a single. Kenny Galladay and Darius Slay. Those are about the only Lions on that team that are mine right now.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. All right.
I guess
well,
Kerryon Johnson's back, but is he really? I don't know. Anyways, too much football.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Why don't we go ahead and jump into this first topic?
Hey guys, what did you do in SWGOH this week?
All right. Oh, so we're going to be talking about 3v3 Grand Arena here shortly. But I want to rant about how much I hate the fact. So you can join a territory war and then remove yourself from the territory war, correct?
You can,
So-
yes.
It's pretty cool. You cannot do that with Grand Arena. I was sitting there waiting anxiously. I finally decided I'm pulling the trigger, I'm biting the bullet, I'm doing it. Ayla Secura is going to get to Gear 13. I've talked about how I think she's a secret superstar in the new territory battle. I think she's a great fill-in on so many teams. The stun on basic, just everything that she has, she's great. So I wanted to level her up, and I'm waiting on some rewards to come out so that I can have the stuff to finish taking her up and spend some crystals, and I'm waiting on a couple, I think it was 3 stun guns I was waiting on. That was all that was between me finishing her Gear 11 and taking her to Gear 13. And I went to look at something in Grand Arena and accidentally hit join. There was no way to back out. I was already in the process of
Whoopsie.
moving mods around. I've got probably 10 to 15 characters that are missing crucial mods because I was moving mods around to get the right mods available to go on Ayla once I was able to take her up to Gear 12 and put my 6-dot mods on her. And it's so frustrating that you can't back out and then have it relock.
Yeah,
It's a
it's weird.
stupid
And what
system.
the more annoying part to me is the fact that they've talked about this already and said they had no plans to change it or work on it.
So it's a bug that they made it to where your stuff locks when you join rather than at the time that Grand Arena starts, right?
A bug?
So
I don't think it's a bug, but I think that it is it's a
well,
change.
they did that to help prevent some of the issues they were having.
Okay, so the bug
with
was that
people
things were
changing.
changing at the wrong times, and they did this
Right.
to conquer the bug.
Right. It was a solution to a bug. So rather than fixing the bug,
Mm-hmm.
they made that fix, and now we're left in this other position because of that bug that you just. And I know it is the way it is, and it's my own fault for hitting the join button, but it's just an incredibly stupid system whenever it's set up this way. So I'm going to get off this rant and be done with it because it's incredibly frustrating because it takes a lot of the fun out of Grand Arena whenever, you have important characters missing really important mods.
Can I
But
make
anyway,
can I make you feel better?
yeah, you missed Grand Arena.
I didn't get a notification that it was time to join again, and I had
Yeah.
on a busy work day where I was sleeping half the day and working the other half. So I haven't done Grand Arena all week on 2 accounts.
I'll be honest, that does not make me feel any better.
Yeah. Well, at least you got to play. That's my point.
That is totally fair. So yeah, I Gear 13 to Ayla Secure took her to Relic 4. As for modding, I went with 3 health primary mods on her, 6 dot. 1 potency primary, 2 health sets, and 1 potency set. So this gets her to 233 speed, 100% potency, 74,000 health, and 76% crit chance. I may try to move some things around and boost her crit chance a bit more. She does have the 10% bonus from her unique, which basically effectively gets her an 86% crit chance. So there's still a 14% chance that she won't crit and stun somebody, and I don't know if that's worth risking it. I'll probably see what I can do, move some things around, but
What is it
she's
that
fun.
Bruce Arians says?
Gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, no risk it, no biscuit.
Yeah, that is certainly true. So, I would be giving up a little bit of health to do that, but I think it might be worth it. I think it might be worth the trade-off. Anyway, that's something I'm gonna look at later. Other than that, I'm not sure that I did a whole lot other than kind of playing with some 3v3 teams and having fun trying to solo teams. So both my Boba and Jango are Relic 4, and I've had a lot of fun seeing if they can, if they can just solo some random team. I soloed a Night Sister team earlier today with Boba, which was a lot of fun. It was a team with NSA, and he's able to, his AoE can take her out, thankfully.
Night Sister, Acolyte, Zombie, and who?
Actually, it was Acolyte. Acolyte, Zombie, and Asajj.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Acolyte and Zombie are always kind of paired up, rightfully so. But
yeah, that's I knew that was I know those two were in there. I just didn't know who the leader was.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that a bit more. So, there's one other thing I've been seriously considering doing, and I want to know if I should do it right now.
Yes, Wampa should definitely go to Gear 13.
It's not Wampa, but it's close to Wampa.
Well, I know what you're gonna say, and I have him Gear 13 on my alt account and absolutely love him.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
The question is Bosk. So I have 2 other bounty hunters, Boba and Jango, at Relic 4. They are my Night Sister killing team. However, Bosk does suffer a little bit in that team just because he is Gear 12. He's not totally maxed out. He could use a little bit more stuff. Not to mention, relicking him up would help me substantially in Fleet Arena, I think, because my Houndstooth suffers. It's usually a first ship to go out just because it doesn't have much sustainability with him at Gear 12. Should I do it?
What team do you use him in? Oh, I guess you use him in your...
With Negotiator team with... JKA and 5s.
How many Malevolence are on your shard, out of curiosity?
Not a ton.
All right. Well,
There's
then I wouldn't
couple,
worry too
but they
much.
don't hold very
This
well.
change would probably be good on your shard then. Because if you're on a shard full of Malevolence, no matter what you do, it's probably not going to matter too much.
Interesting. Okay.
He could be Relic 7 in Fleet Arena against my Malevolence, and I would eat him for breakfast.
Really?
Yeah, it's just you start getting all the assists in there, and with all the overdrive, whatever the buff that Malevolence gives out is, it just eats him alive. Now, it would definitely last longer.
That makes sense.
But the fact of the matter is, Geo Spy makes his taunt irrelevant at the beginning of the match because that force taunt is just ridiculous. Most of the time, it's either goes to 5s or it goes to Jedi Knight Anakin. So, and he taking out either one of those pretty much disassembles the team. Not to mention, my Hyena Bomber at least getting vulture droids out where they just go to 3 and just start eating them alive. It's great.
Oh yeah,
So
nice.
you can hide behind HT all day long, but the vulture droids are just going to eat your health and protection until they die, if that's the case. It's
All
great.
right.
I know. Sorry, we weren't talking about
So-
Malevolence, but I love him.
So what you think I should do it?
I think you should do it. I think he's
I-
annoying as crap at high relic levels.
I lose a little bit of saved up gear that I've got that might be useful on an RJT or something, but I could still crunch RJT and BB-8 to gear 12 gear 13 even by taking boss cup. So I'm doing it. Literally right now I'm pressing the button. Yes. And it is
Sweet
done.
release.
Whew. All right. So yeah, that's the other thing I did this week. I gear 13 to Bosk.
I gear 13 to a few people this week too.
Ooh,
Oh, sorry,
who
the
did
last
you gear
2
13?
weeks because we didn't have a podcast
That-
last week.
That is a good point. Yes.
But yeah, last time we did a podcast, I was like 20 pieces away from getting gear 13 on General Kenobi, and I finished Kenobi and I finished Ahsoka. So that entire Galactic Republic team, at least the core 4, are all gear 13 relic 4, meaning Padme, Kenobi, Anakin, and Ahsoka. And then I've been in the background. I've been farming gear to get C-3PO to gear 13, but he hasn't been the main focus. So
very nice.
yeah, I got them. I got ARC Trooper to 7-star, and actually finally started gearing someone not to get gear 13, but actually just gearing someone. So ARC Trooper's now gear 11. Gear 11? Yeah, gear 11, almost gear 12. I've been working on Watt in the background. Watt is gear 9, but now he's on a level that needs freaking Kairos, so he's probably going to wait until I finish ARC Trooper now, but yeah, I've been working on those 2. Finally got time to work on those 2. So, yeah.
Cool.
Pretty stoked about it. Like I said, I'm a phase 4 away from generical.
I have no idea what a genical is, but sure.
Genical Skywalker. So I just got to beat phase 4. But I've got 3 of the 5 relicked. The rest are gear 12. Almost everyone is Zeta except for Magna Guard, because why would you do that? So, yeah.
That's a fair question.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. I mean, hopefully I can get Anakin to start slapping at Droideka and not hitting him through crit immunity and giving my team a chance, but we'll see. So,
very nice.
And then one thing I wanted to mention is not a me thing, but a we thing, and that's our guild. We did Lightside GOTB, trying to figure out our strategy a little bit on that. Probably missed out on a few stars along the way, just figuring it out, but we got 11 stars.
Yeah, there were 2 stars that we were just basically, it was lack of a few deployments that prevented it.
We're not going to name names, but we could if you don't do it next time.
Yeah. Next time we will either get 13 or 14, or at least we should. Just even a marginal improvement on combat missions, and we're within striking distance of maybe 15 stars. Just mathematically.
To be completely honest with this last one, I didn't know what you were going for with strategy-wise, and normally in any TB, I call out everyone for combat missions we still need done, where to deploy, those types of things, and I didn't know any of that beyond my own self. So now that I have a little better handle on the strategy, I'll be able to nag the crap out of people that need nagging the crap out of them all the time, and hopefully we'll not miss those things.
We will definitely be doing more nagging next time around, no doubt about it. Nagging can be quite helpful in these sort of things, but I think the biggest thing I realized is the benefits of having one really good team just so much outweighs the benefit of having a couple teams that are pretty good. Just over 4 phases, if you have a team that can go for 4 for 4, that's 16 waves you can beat with that. Because once you get to some of those later territories, they start to get a little bit more rough, especially once you get into that third slice. And I think I ended up completing a total of 20 waves. There were a couple people that I think had 22. I think I was third in our guild on waves completed. But, if we can get to everybody clearing, say, 12 waves, which is basically just one really good team for the light side, that'll be a couple extra stars just based on, CMs.
My biggest problem in the territory battle right now is I have two really good teams, but the problem is both of them have one character that's only gear 12. So like Shakti and the clones, I have 3 relic clones and relic Shakti, and then nothing for that 5th slot. And then the same thing goes for Padme, because I have Padme, General Kenobi, Anakin, and Ahsoka, and no one for the 5th slot. So
3PO.
Well, I have him, but he's not relicked yet. So
he doesn't need to be.
Well, he did. He did need to be for me because I didn't get through those waves. So
I would suspect remodding him would help, because I was having the same issue as you, and I went back and completely remodded 3PO, and I have not had a single issue with him dying since I remodded him. I focused a lot more on health with modding him. Like I have 2 health primaries with a health set, and that's really all you need is him to just kind of stay alive, because the passive thing with the buffs is the biggest thing for him. Putting down confusion stuff is nice, but I mean, him just having health and being there is the most important thing for him to do.
I would say the ability cooldowns and the crit hit, or not crit hit immunity, but the ability cooldowns and then the main assist that he does, those are the 2 biggest things for him, I think.
Yeah.
Because if you're able to use those specials more often on that team, you're going to be in a lot better spot.
That is 100% true.
So
yeah, the mass assist is great, and the big benefit I think of the mass assist is that you can call in Padme and give everybody protection up. So, I think just some general remodding on some of those characters, and we just did that, modding stream just before the show, and you can of course go back and watch that. And those are 2 characters I focused on, whenever I was looking at your team, was General Kenobi and Padme. And General Kenobi I think is probably the biggest, just because he's really the only one that gets hit that much. Everyone else that kind of takes an AoE for the most part. Like, just getting General Kenobi, just kind of focusing on him, he can take the blunt of the damage and protect the team. It's kind of the same way with the Jedi Knight Revan team. I got to a point where I was suffering pretty hard, in that 3rd slice. I tried that combat mission and it didn't go well. But I have Gear 12, Hermit Yoda, Bastilla, and Jedi Knight Revan that I use on my team, and then I have my, I think, Relic 5 Jolee and Relic 6 Grandmaster Yoda that kind of carry the team. Jolee is just basically impossible for them to kill quickly, so he kind of keeps bringing everybody back if you play it correctly. And the problem that gets on those later waves, the AoEs just they do so much damage that it kills Revan, and once Revan's down, I'm basically done. So by the time this next territory battle comes up, I'll probably take Revan to Gear 13, depending on what we get with these Galactic Legend characters. That'll kind of determine a lot of things for me going forward, but I think Jedi Knight Revan's my next piece as to finishing out a territory battle team. But I don't know if you saw the video. There have been a decent number of people having success with an entirely Gear 12 RJT team using the 3 droids, R2, BB-8, and 3PO. Did you ever get around to trying that?
No, because I didn't see the video during it. That territory battle was a terribly timed because it was on one of my long work weeks.
Yeah.
So literally the entire time I was sleeping or working and then rushing to do light side territory battles. So I didn't really try a lot of things or get a lot of time to do anything in that. So hopefully the next one is more of a Tuesday to Friday, Saturday thing, more so than a Saturday to Tuesday thing. Because the second one I just said is all work, and that does not work very well when you're trying out new things. So we'll see.
Yeah. So we will, of course, be talking about that, before the next territory battle comes up. Next territory battle, of course, can be dark side. So you will have that big decision to make there, and then light
You
side
started
will
that
come
sentence
back.
with "so you will," and I assumed you were going to say actually have fun doing territory battles.
I have to admit, I don't know if it's just on me of playing the game for so long or what, but there are a few modes that I just find that even Grand Arena, I don't find as compelling. I don't find myself caring, but that light side territory battle, I enjoyed so freaking much.
Not on day one.
I was kind of pissed on day one. That was
Not
the funny
on day
thing.
one.
On day one, I got 0 waves. 0 waves on day one, but I still ended up getting.
Hey guys,
20.
remember when he said 404? Remember that? You guys remember that?
Dude,
I should have taken that bet.
I got several 4 out of 4s.
Not in phase one.
Not on that. Okay, yeah. So technically, yeah, the phases are the days. Yes, phase 1 I did not, but in that first slice I did get multiple. Also got some in slice 2 actually. So smart ass.
Hey, that's me.
All right.
This thing. Do that thing.
Let's go ahead and go to this.
Strong with us, this update is Young Padawans.
All right, what's up with this update?
All right, so not this week, but last week when we were not podcasting, there was an update, and it's got a few interesting things in it that I wanted to discuss or bring up at least. And the first one is that First Order TIE Fighter Pilot is the daily login character for January. I don't know if that means anything, but it's an interesting character to pick because, in my opinion, most people, I mean, even if they do that, I don't even know if they do that as much, but he seems like a character that people have geared for his ship more so than his use in a First Order team, which might change because we might get bigger First Order teams and he might shine under someone else, but it's interesting that one of the fighter pilots is the login character because we've had speculation that we might be getting a capital ship, so just an idea. Do I think it's going to happen next month? Probably not, but it could be a hint towards it the next month. I don't know. Or it could just be a character because it seems like the days of characters meaning something, it's a little harder to discern what the meaning is lately.
That's true. It's been a lot more bland and not as hinty as to actually what's going on. So, oh well.
Yep. So that's the one. Mod shipments update. This is something that we've said for a long time, and it actually just popped up in an update, and there it was. So the mod shipment update. They removed 4-star mods from mod shipments. So now all you get is 5-star mods. So now every time that refreshes, there's a pretty good chance you're going to find at least one mod that you want to get.
Yep. You know what irritates me about this, though?
Now there's multiple you want?
Well, no, the organization of them, they seem very scattered. It's random. Like, you'll have arrows and then something else, then more arrows, and then, more pluses. Like, they used to be organized more so. Not so much now.
You know what? That's an interesting thing.
Me.
Yeah, they added more, but they kind of made it look weird.
Yeah, they did. But that's okay.
Yeah. All right, so there's that. Hucks Leadership and Unique change. So they did end up changing Hucks last week, and it's pretty much exactly what we thought it would be. They changed his leader ability to only gain dominance at the beginning of the match if all allies are first order. And his unique was changed to if all allies at the beginning of the battle are first order, then enemies can't gain bonus turn meter when Hux has advantage. So they basically turned him into a first order team character as opposed to the 3-star Gear 12 Juggernaut that he was under under Darth Revan before. So
very disappointing.
I'm not disappointed. I think it makes sense.
It makes sense, but disappointing.
Because I feel like that we were about to have the same type of thing with a lot of other characters where it's like, all right, you need that 3-star Gear 12 Hux always ready to go. Because he's just got one move that he doesn't really need to do anything else but be in the team to make it work.
I wish they would have made it just have a first order leader, not the entire team be first order. At least then you could have some versatility and, play around with things. But the entire team being first order, just...
Yeah, that would have made more sense.
That's what irritates me. Not necessarily that they changed him, but the change that they chose to go with.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, oh well. The BLT. Oh man, sounds good, don't it? The
BLT wing.
Do you have McAllister delis out there in Arizona?
We got Jason's.
No McAllisters. All right.
Doesn't sound familiar.
All right. Any of you that have McAllisters, they have a BLTA sandwich that is freaking fantastic. It's got this mayo on it that's just, oh god, it's so good. Anyway,
easy bud.
The BTLB wing the BTLB Y wing is now in the card packs and shipments. God, that is a
Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Sally sells seashells. We lost it on the third go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. So the big thing, as we were talking about, Skywalker Clash on Camino is officially back. You have not a whole lot more time, a couple more days from time that we're currently recording this to get your General Anakin Skywalker and then proceed to spend thousands upon thousands of Get 1 to get him to Gear 7, hopefully.
I don't think I have enough to get him to 5-star at the moment. I think I'm at 20,000 Get 1
That
tokens.
is well, you will unlock him at 5-star, so.
I thought he unlocked at 4 for some reason.
No. Definitely 5.
Well, that's better then.
Not really, because it's the same amount. Whatever number you're thinking of is what it costs either way. So.
Yeah, I know it's like 70 something, but I'm just saying a 5-star is better to start than a 4-star.
Yeah. That is fair. So all you have left is Phase 4. Think you'll get it?
Think I'll get it? I better get it. So I've already had a good friend tell me today that if they don't get it, there might be some problems with their want or ability to continue to play this game. And I completely understand where they're coming from. So
yeah, that's totally fair. Can't knock that. So they made a sound for Holdo and Rose when they get defeated.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird one. So this must be purely for the... I don't know, because I don't know how you would play if you were blind. But it seems like something that would have some kind of cue for certain people that play the game, because they might be... I think there's a few of the only ones that didn't have a death sound. And if you look through the bugs or the changes they had, there were some other audio cues that they added to the game. So, yeah, just interesting that randomly they added death sounds for those two. So I don't know. I just saw that and I was like, well, that's odd.
Yeah.
But
so this is the big news that we're waiting on, and like I mentioned, the Galactic Legends. Hopefully, you guys have seen Rise of Skywalker, but the Galactic Legends Rey and Kylo. People have been speculating that they were coming here pretty soon, but they announced that they will not be available this month. It'll be in a future update. They said they will be revealing the requirements over time in game. We'll be making an announcement when they're ready, as Galactic Legends represents some of the most notable characters in Star Wars universe and are an exciting next step.
here's something if you want to decide to read too far into words.
Okay.
When have they ever released the requirements for a character over time? Usually it's like,
Well,
here's the requirements.
They didn't release them. They said revealing the requirements.
Okay, so semantics. What I'm saying is, usually it's like, here's the characters you need, not anything that could be revealed over time. Unless they're going to be like, you need Rey. And then the next week they're like, you'll need Finn. Then the next week they're like, Poe. That would make no sense to me and would not be exciting or fun.
Well,
so I'm kind of curious
people...
how in-depth getting these characters are going to be. And I know me and you have talked about the idea of challenges and achievements, a lot like Darth Vader used to be when we started playing the game.
This would be amazing.
So I'm just curious if that hints at something bigger than just a legendary event where you play an event, but maybe an event as well as this or that. Here's a question for you. Get One has obviously been a annoyance for epic confrontations for everyone once you finish them.
That's fair.
What if you got you played an event to get a character to a certain star, and then after that you had to get achievements or challenges to continue to get more shards? Would that be better or worse than Get One?
I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, I just don't know why you would need to reveal requirements over time. I don't know. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, I think it'll just. I don't. I think you're kind of looking into this, more than you should be. Probably. I think it's just.
Then why put over time at all?
Well, because they're not going to do it all at once.
Right, and what character has ever had that happen?
Let me go ahead and get to the speculation. There's been a lot of kind of flowing around the communities about these packs that they released and some of the characters that are in them. So there's a pack that had Holdo shards and Resistance Pilot shards. There was another one with why am I drawing a blank? Basically, Phasma and I think First Order TIE Pilot. You've had some of these characters being put in these random packs. And that could be a way in which they are revealing requirements over time in game, subtly, not being obvious about it. Which is what people have speculated, which I totally understand. And there is a question later here in the Q&A that we'll kind of get to, where I'll touch on this a little bit. Actually, I think I want to go ahead and touch on that question. How's that sound?
From the QA?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it fits right in. The question came from someone in the pod chat that asked. I can't find the question.
We'll find it.
Crap. No,
here it is. Joker. Do you think Galactic Legend Rey and Kylo will need the same 15 characters, completely different ones, or some overlap?
So, I'm not sure where everybody's getting 15 characters as requirements. Possible. Well, actually, I do know where they're getting it. They are basically assuming, because when you go and look at those characters, there are 15 blank slots on there, which is totally fair. But I don't know that means that those 15, all 15, will be required. It's totally possible that it will be a segment of those 15 that are required, and we could see a situation where it requires a couple pilots, a couple ships, and then you need to have another team of, something kind of similar to what we got from the Malak and General Anakin event, but maybe just done a little bit different, some new mechanics or twists to kind of change things up. I would be surprised if those 15 characters were all required, unless it was like a base requirement of like have these characters at 7-star at least, or something like that. Something like that might not surprise me, but if they actually required all those characters to be 7-star and geared, I would be pretty surprised.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's definitely, it shows 15. I don't think it's going to take all 15, and a lot of those characters show a large amount because a lot of them meet their requirements, but I don't think that we're going to see something that requires every single one of them.
Yeah,
but it might be this type of event might be one of those ones that requires certain characters as well as filling out the team with a certain faction. So you might need certain ones at the star and relic level, and then you can fill it in with whatever else you have, where some are better than others, but you can try it with what you have. That's something that's not been done really, but I don't think it's going to take it all. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully we'll find out soon. I expect we'll find out next month. I mean, or at least on one of the characters we'll find out next month. Doing 2 probably OP characters is probably difficult.
2 of them is also pretty much why I don't think they're going to be, I don't know. I still am not convinced they're going to be OP characters. I still think that they're going to be really good characters that fit somewhere in the middle of all the types of events where they're not as ridiculous to get. But that's the dreamer in me. But why would you? I don't see how they could release 2 game-breaking kits at the same time.
I mean, they certainly could. I mean, but it could also be a situation where we see, maybe Rey is tuned a little bit more towards doing well in this territory battle, and Kylo's maybe a little bit more arena-based or something along those lines. But
yeah, but then when you get, well, I guess not everyone's the same, but I would say then you make everyone lean one way or the other, because I feel like if it was arena-based, then 65% of the player base would be going for that one first. Yeah. As opposed to getting the choice of going after the one they actually like, the character they like. But I mean, I guess this game has never been really about what characters you like, as opposed to the ones with the kits that are ridiculous. So
that's totally fair.
That too.
Yeah. It would be nice if they did come out and were actual counters to each other. I don't see it happening. Like, if you're trying to make a meta of 2 that are both better than everything else that's out there, I could see that being a pain in the ass. But who knows?
Not I, said the blind man.
Indeed. Speaking of blind, there were a lot of people that weren't seeing shards in their inbox. You want to tell everybody about that?
First, I want to point out that a beautiful segue.
Thank you. I impressed myself on that one.
Yes, apparently there's some people that aren't getting their Kai Adamundi shards or their Wat Tambor shards for whatever reason. That would be really, really annoying. They know it's happening. They think that they've figured out why it's happening and that it's affecting both of the characters the same way. So they're going to fix it and then retroactively give people back the shards that they've missed. I would not be happy to have to wait because God knows how long that's going to take. But man, at least they know they're going to get their shards eventually. But that's crazy. When I first read this, I was wondering if it was an individual thing or if it was an individual thing that affected everyone. So let's say 45 people beat it, but we only got 32 shards. Is that what they mean by this? Or do they mean that one guy just didn't get any of the 32 shards?
That is a good question.
Yeah, so
I have no idea.
no idea either. I mean, I kind of want it to be the first one so that I get more shards when this is fixed, but who knows which one it is. It's probably closer to the certain people didn't get shards, but no idea.
Cool. All right. Well, let's
You want to save this dude for next week and go right into 3v3?
You know what? That's probably not a bad idea because there's not. We're gonna go over Resistant Hero Finn, but yeah, I think saving that for next week's probably not a bad idea. Not terribly excited talking about kits anyway, and we could see a little bit more this week that maybe accompanies that. So let's go ahead and talk about 3v3.
Hey boys, do you have any tips for us less experienced players?
So I got a very big tip here.
I'm sure you do.
Very big tip.
All right.
All right, so I don't.
3v3.
If
Your
I'm being
favorite.
completely, it is my favorite, and that is why I am sad to say that I really don't have a lot of experience besides 3 matches over a week and a half ago that I barely remember. I do remember one thing for sure. It is a lot harder and more annoying this time around than it was the last time. Like, some of these defense teams are giving me fits compared to what they were before.
I've had less trouble this time around.
It's the first time. The first one I fought was really rough. I think I had 3 or 4 teams that it took 2 teams to beat. It was just rough. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I think for me, I focused heavily on kind of doing 2 to 3 characters out of each faction for, in a lot of ways for, just gearing teams up in general. So that's probably, made things a little bit easier than they normally would have been. But I've mostly enjoyed it. I do kind of get tired of it at some point. I'd like to see them alternating between 5v5 and 3v3, within the same GAC.
I'll be honest, I think ships shouldn't be in a 3v3 map.
I don't care.
But it's not changed, It's a 3v3, and then you're like, here's normal ships. Why are these here if they're normal? We're kind of doing different things here. I don't know.
Yeah. That makes sense. I wouldn't care. Like, I would like to see a 3v3 with ships and then a 3v3 without ships.
Well, the good news is now that I've got Malevolence, I don't care if ships are there or not because I know I'm going to beat them.
Yeah. Nice. Well, that is good. So yeah, or maybe even change things up in 5v5 and go back to having 5 starting ships. Ooh. I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit of mix up, but all in all, 3v3's been fairly fun. We've had a lot of new mechanics that's really changed 3v3. I mean, GBA, ARC Trooper, these situations where you have these kind of additional assets out there on the battlefield, and then we've had a lot of reworks and new characters and all this sort of stuff. There's so many new usable factions, and so we want to talk about some teams that we like.
All right, so yeah, this is kind of an up. Okay, so let me just throw this out there. For everyone that's asked me to update my 3v3 image, the first time I did it, it took me a very long time to do. The second update took me a very long time to do. Third update would also take me a very long time to do. So I'm still weighing the pros and cons of taking that very long time to do on whether or not I'm going to do it. But I've got a list of things since the last one I made that I want to throw out there as ideas that might end up on an updated 3v3 picture that I make. All right? And this has to do with reworks and new characters and all the things that weren't on the last one. All right?
All right.
But before I go into the teams that I listed, I put down a team here that I knew that you'd want to talk about. So why don't you mention
Oh, yeah.
this team first, and then we'll see where that goes.
So one team that I've been enjoying is General Kenobi with Hermit Yoda and Wat Tambor. This is pretty cool because Wat basically starts out by putting the protection, recovery, and auto taunt on General Kenobi. You have General Kenobi's leader ability, which gives him 30% offense, 30% health, and I think 70% defense. Then you have Hermit Yoda giving the buffs to General Kenobi. So you basically, all you have to do is get through General Kenobi, but this team can make it hell if you don't go with the right team. It's not going to beat you, but it can certainly time you out. I've had a lot of people underestimate it. It's actually done pretty well for me on defense, and these aren't characters that would necessarily be used in a whole lot. I think Hermit Yoda and Wat kind of lose a little bit of their luster just because you're sacrificing a whole lot by putting them in a 3v3 team. So this is a way to put some of those characters in that actually does work pretty well on defense. General Kenobi I can kind of do without, on offense. And you could also sub in 3PO for Wat Tambor if you wanted to. I think Hermit Yoda's kind of necessary-ish, but you could kind of mix around with that other spot depending on who you have.
All right. Well, then I'll go right into the list that I made of the other ones. Darth Malak. Darth Revan. Is it Darth Malak? His name is Darth Malak, isn't it? I just call him Malak so much I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, Darth Revan, Malak, and a mixture of HK or Badstilla is an idea. I saw some stuff from Azrael in the chat. He said 2 teams that he saw with Darth Revan. He saw a team of Darth Revan, HK, and Sith Marauder. Another interesting one because that would free up BSF and Malak for other spots. I just went with a more straight up, really annoying Darth Malak team with Darth Revan, Malak. I think I would put HK with them simply because if I didn't put HK in a team with Darth Revan, I would not use him. More than
That's
likely.
100% true. Yep.
So
I agree.
I think I'd leave Badstilla out, and then you can put her with like a Palpatine lead team.
Oh yeah.
That's
what I'm talking about.
Palpatine lead would be a good one. This one is probably not something you try, but I did put down here. This is where I start getting into my dregs and want to see if this would actually do anything. But a Maul Zeta Savage Badstilla team I think would be interesting. I don't know. I'm not recommending this. It's more of a idea, but I hate those two, Maul and Savage, together anyway. Throwing Badstilla in there, I think would just make it even more annoying. But yeah, Emperor Palpatine, BSF, and Thrawn. Is that what you just said? That sounds nasty. Oh yeah.
Yes. I like that team on offense just because, BSF has the protection recovery. Thrawn gives back the protection. I mean, it's a team that can basically lock down anything, get the fear out, get the stun out, get the fracture out. The other team can't move. And if you did take any damage, you have so much time to recover all your protection. It's a super easy 54 banners.
I'm sorry, Malak from Accounting is his actual title.
Yeah. Nice.
Malak took some accounting to get. How's that? GG B2 B1 is a surprisingly really annoying defense team that I used. That one caught. I think I got 3, 2, and then 1 with that team. But those 3 together are pretty good. Kind of leaves Magna in a weird spot. I don't think I have a spot for Magna Guard in 3v3, but yeah, because I kind of went on another path with Separatists where I put the team of GBA, Geonosian Spy, and Sunfok. That one is a fun one. I don't know where. I think I used that on defense too. That one did really well on defense for me. double
was
tank,
putting-
all the spy for the
Yep.
offense.
And I like that because the other thing that Sunfuck has is the dispel, and a lot of times your buffs can be a good way to get through GBA. But personally, I went with Geo Soldier, maybe a little bit easier to kill than Sunfuck, obviously, but harder to target, and he gains all that turn meter because basically every time there's anyone that does a ability, he can gain turn meter. Plus, he does tenacity down, so he can remove the turn meter and stuff. So I think using Geo Soldier in for Sunfuck is also a pretty viable option, which would then free Sunfuck up for like a separatist team.
Yeah, I think the main reason I like Sunfuck is just because of the dispels.
Yeah.
The basic dispels. A constant dispels. But then I kind of put in like a hybrid team, because if you remember my image, I kind of was trying to not put options down, but try to make the most teams out of your roster without reusing characters. I already like a team starting with Nute and Dooku, but then you got a lot of options to pick for the third spot on that team. If you're using Sunfuck, you got Geo Soldier you can pick, you got Poggle, you got Droideka, you even have Magna Guard, but I don't think you would pick Magna Guard. I mean, maybe you would for the taunt, especially if you have a decently geared one for your GG team. But that is a complete separatist team built out of leftovers that can be everybody knows Nute and Dooku are always fun together, so
Yep.
Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka is an offense team I use.
I love that team.
I really love that trio there. This is another one I want to ask you about, because you've got two teams with the 500 first and with a Shaak T leader and a GAS leader. Mm-hmm. So which way would you go with those two? Because I've listed here Shaak T with either 5s or Rex and Echo, and then General Skywalker with ARC Trooper or 5s or Rex.
Yeah, man, I really don't know. This is a really hard decision. So you have the benefit of them being with General Anakin Skywalker. They're a little bit more protected, harder to kill, but the problem is once gas goes down, you do want faster characters, I think, and I have ARC just completely modded for offense, which is nice in a way, but also not so great. I really don't know how to mix these characters up. The one benefit of, I guess I should say, my first thoughts were General Anakin Skywalker with an Echo and Rex.
That's Echo.
Yeah, because you would have Rex, who is awfully fast, and that would just give a lot of opportunities to call him in, and of course Echo can do a ton of damage because you're going to have to use a high damage output team to take down General Skywalker, and I think that will give time for Echo to do some damage. Problem is, of course, once he goes down, Echo and Rex are going to be, pretty easy to take out.
Well, you have Skywalker, so what have you been doing?
I've been mixing it up because I really don't know what to do, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I've kind of, I've got Shaak T and I do have General Anakin Skywalker, and all my clones, those 4 clones, Rex, 5s, Echo, ARC, I have all of them at Relic 4, 5, and I don't really know what the hell to do with them, because there are serious benefits on both sides. So 5s, he attacks out a turn all the time, so that sounds nice under Shaak T because there's a lot of protection and health recovery. Echo, obviously good under Shaak T because for the same reasons, he can get counter, he attacks out a turn anyway, a lot of benefits there. But for those same reasons, they can do good under General Anakin Skywalker lead. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have the foggiest clue.
So it really boils down to what's the tested theory and where it goes. Another great point from chat is the idea of an offense team of Shaak, T-Rex, and Echo against GG is just a nasty combo.
Interesting. I like that. I mean, Rex can obviously just basically smash everything, and
well, that Echo
is
AoE
against droids.
Yeah, that Echo AoE with the stuns and just the damage it does in general
100%
is great. So
no doubt about it. And whenever you're talking about him counter attacking, the only thing that would kind of worry me with that team is you would need to kind of keep it stacked with health and protection, because at some point General Grievous will AoE, and he can absolutely wreck everything with an AoE. So that does sound pretty fun, though. I may have to try that next GA.
Yep. You wrote down a few more there.
Yeah, I did. I had a few 2-man options that I kind of liked a lot that I tried. Dooku and Jango. I like them a lot because it starts out with Jango getting the damage immunity and already having his payout, so he can absolutely just go in and wreck everything. And then, of course, Dooku's pretty good. He can recover protection, tax out turns, stuns, that sort of stuff. Those two are awesome together. Stormtrooper Han and Wampa also awesome together.
That's that's a 5v5 team for me. So it works perfect for 3v3.
Yeah, 100%.
But Stormtrooper Han lead Wampa is one of my favorite teams there is. Now, I know a lot of
one
people.
Of my favorites forever too. I used to use Rex with it. That's another option for Rex too, to take down something a lot stronger. But you can use just those two for like some middling team. It's a great way to get points.
And a counter argument for a lot of those people that are saying you're not getting all of the counterattacks from Wampa when Stormtrooper Han is taunting. The counter argument to that is you're getting all the turn meter gain, which is actually better when he takes more turns, because you're gaining all the offensive and he finally gets to use his second special more often. Not to mention keeping up his protection up, getting that ability to do that more often. So I would much rather have a Stormtrooper Han and leading there, because it gives you a little, especially against high-powered offense teams on defense, because you might lose points if Han goes below health or loses his protection and only has health, or if Han dies. You might lose a few points, but if it's keeping him alive versus those teams where he might otherwise die by himself, it's perfectly worth it to me.
Yep. There are a lot of annoying teams that I think this team is great against. One of those annoying teams that I think it would be pretty good against, but I do still think is a really good defensive team, that would be L3 Zaalbar and Vandor Chewie. This team can be bloody annoying because you have two taunters who taunt all the time, who are incredibly annoying, and Vandor Chewie, who can revive both of them if something were to happen. So you basically have two taunters you have to get around to damage Chewie enough to get rid of prepared so he doesn't revive the guy he just killed. Just annoying as all hell.
Yeah. That is interesting. Vandor Chewie's the leader in that team, isn't he?
It doesn't matter. I don't think any of them have leader abilities. I think I've had L3 in there in the lead spot, but I
think Chewie is the leader. I'm pretty positive he has some kind of defense
does he?
Leader ability.
He does not.
He doesn't?
Nope, none of them have a leader ability.
Well then, I guess I've just always seen him in the leader spot and assumed. That's interesting for sure. Funny how a team with no leader ability can be that annoying.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And boy is it. There is another team that I really like a lot that I was planning to do this last time, but I didn't get to. And that's going to be Badstilla Shan with Ezra and Ayla Secura. So with my Ayla now, with how much health she has, she's going to be very difficult to stun, which means when you hit her, she's going to be counterattacking. I think that team could be an annoying team to deal with if you go in, underestimate it, and don't play it correctly. Plus, it's going to be kind of a rare team. I don't think most people will be playing it, so I like that a lot. But I think there's one other discussion we desperately need to have.
Okay. What do you got?
Night Sisters.
Oh, so you're wondering if there's changes from the original graphic?
Yes. What are you thinking?
Let me
with the
bring
Night
it up.
Sisters?
Let me bring up the old image here on the stream so people can see it. All right. That'll probably get cut off, but I'm okay with that. We can fix that real quick,
Okay.
or not. I'm on the wrong thing. And we're good. Okay, so
Okay.
on the original... What did you disappear for? There you are. So on the original, for Night Sisters, you had Talzin, Daka, Spirit, and Acolyte, Zombie, Asajj.
And I think that's where I lead or land. I think I'm not 100% for sure. I think these teams are pretty versatile. But here's one thing that I did come up with and try, and it did have a defend actually.
Okay.
A Daka lead with Night Sister, Acolyte, and Zombie. I think Night Sister Acolyte, if you're using her, she almost has to be paired with Zombie, just so that she can kind of hide behind stealth. But the benefit of Daka is that she has that plus 50% health, and Acolyte has that really annoying ability of recovering 40% health on a critical hit. So this can allow her to basically recover back to 100% health every time she uses an ability. So you get to a point where you would actually need a really strong AoE to be able to take her out. So I think that is kind of interesting. The only problem...
What is the whole team?
It would be Daka lead, Night Sister Acolyte, and Zombie.
Okay, gotcha. Which is definitely an interesting one because it doesn't really... It only serves to make the other team stronger. Because now you're putting Asajj with...
Right. So that is a side benefit of this. So I think this is the best team comp for Acolyte, just because she does have all the extra health, and if modded for health, it would make her very difficult to kill on an AoE.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, that also gives Asajj, Mother Talzin, and Spirit together on the same team. But I think if you're doing that, you probably have to go Mother Talzin lead, because you need some sort of revive mechanic there. Not having Daka, there's no way to revive, and I think that could be a problem. What do you think?
Yeah, when I originally thought about it after the fact, not having Daka on a team without a tank, you'd have to run a Talzin lead to get the revives at that point.
Yep.
So that would be interesting.
So not sure it's worth the trade-off, but I do think it is interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of options there. I mean, and I don't think a lot of them are bad, so you just got to make sure you have certain characters geared. Like, for me, I don't have Acolyte geared, so I can't even use the team I recommend. I don't have Spirit geared, so mine end up having to have Talia in there, and it's not half as effective with Talia. She's usually the one left out. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to put another health primary on my Acolyte and kind of get her health a little bit higher. I don't have the mods to do it, so I do not.
Yep. I got you, man. Well, we're halfway through 3v3. I had to ask someone today because I was afraid that I had already missed signing up for the third phase of Grand Arena. So tomorrow, around noonish, or whatever it is, I will remember to join round 3.
Will you?
There is a lot of... I will hope that I remember to join round 3 tomorrow
We will see.
afternoon. I'm
Cool.
going to ask Wink to remind me so that I have him as an excuse if I forget.
I like it. Actually, I hate it, but that's okay.
I hate it. All right, well, we did ask for some questions to answer for tonight. If you're listening to this and you didn't get a question or didn't know there was an option to do that, you can always call our phone number and leave a voicemail at 480-442-0112. Audio voicemails always get priority on our question and answers, but you can also add them to the Q&A channel on Discord, and we will answer them, probably more questions next week. So if you didn't get it in today, because we announced it today and put it up today, you have another week, and then we'll answer some of those other questions next week. So why don't we get to the ones that were asked today?
All right, we have one audio question as well, so we'll start with that one. Oops. Wrong
Will
button.
we, though?
Hey guys, Good Over East here. Big fan of the show. Hope you guys are doing well. I got a question for you. Just curious, which Resistance character do you think Banana Republic Finn replaces? Thank you.
Banana Republic Finn. That's a good name.
I think that is a great name, Gum. It's actually the perfect name because that's looking at his character model, and that's quite fitting. So what Resistance character do I think he replaces? I think the problem with Resistance is there are so many options. Obviously, RJT's the leader. BB-8 has to be there. R2 and 3PO are great, but I think they're a little bit better on other teams. But I'll be honest, man, my RJT is basically worthless if I don't have R2 on it.
I was about to say, I can never replace R2, but because he's the one that gets things started for the team for me. Like,
yeah,
he seems... Overall, he could be replaced and be the weakest link, but the fact of the matter on most battles I do is that R2-D2 goes first, and using his AoE to get exposes out under RJT is what feeds the rest of the team to go before my enemies. And so taking him out gets really hard. My first instinct on my normal Resistance team, because my normal Resistance team is BB-8, or RJT lead, BB-8, R2, Resistance Trooper, and Finn. I almost would think to take out Resistance Trooper for a double Finn, because regular Finn is a offensive machine once he's rolling. Plus he has the stun, which I love, and he's also able to heal if needed. And then on top of that, the new Resistance Finn is also a big damage dealer, who does a lot of other things that I can't remember at the moment because we didn't go over his kit, but I know that he did do a lot of damage when I played with him in the Marquee event. I feel like he could probably take out Resistance Trooper. The only thing I'm really starting to miss then at that point is the Dispel from Resistance Trooper Special. And I don't know where you make that up besides RJT's, Jedi Hand Wave.
So here's where so if we agree RJT, BB-8, R2 are the essential core to this team, and we're throwing in Banana Republic Finn, I would actually keep Resistance Trooper in there over the other Finn for this reason. This would allow RJT to constantly taunt when he does his rally ability. It would then call in Resistance Trooper. Hopefully you guys are familiar with this kit since he is already put in game. Because tanks will taunt and gain critical hit immunity. If you use the other Finn, he would then be taunting. And I don't particularly want him getting hit. I want him being like an attacker. So I think I'd rather have Resistance Trooper be able to get called in and do some damage. And
yeah, that's where not remembering the kit fully comes in, because then it would be a toss-up between... Or do you choose which tank gets to taunt? Because if you didn't get to choose it, it would be either RJT or Finn.
All tanks get the taunt. So tanks get the taunt, and support characters like R2 and BB-8 restore 15% health and protection to all allies.
Can I go off topic for a quick second? Because
Yeah,
this
sure.
saying all taunts tank reminded me of something that I always find hilarious. And that's if you do like an AoE against a team that has a lot of counterattacks. If you have two people taunting, it's so funny sometimes to watch half the team attack the one tank and the others jump on the other side and attack the other one. That always makes me laugh.
I totally agree. Yeah, that is.
I'm like, where are you
entertaining to
going?
watch.
Oh, he's taunting too, I guess.
So the other thing is the counter chance. All resistance allies have the 100% counter chance while Banana Republic Finn is inspired. And I think having all that counter chance, that's just more opportunities for expose to then feed Resistance Trooper even further.
Well,
so I
yeah,
think
and then on top of that, every time he counters, more than likely he's going to add an expose anyway.
Yep.
His basic is great under RGT just for the simple fact that he can
It's
double
nasty.
expose.
Yep. He's absolutely awesome. And, if he does that, I mean, he's gaining crazy turn meter. So, he could basically be going constantly on this team. I think I love Resistance Trooper with it.
I think you've talked me into that.
Cool.
Because you're basically switching out one fin for the other, both doing very similar things as far as damage goes, but one offering you a lot more than the other than just a ramping damage and a stun.
Now, there are exceptions. If you're like facing Nest or something, you'll probably want Finn because of the stacking damage to where you can eventually just nuke somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I think under most scenarios, Resistance Trooper would be the one that I would prefer.
And there are plenty of bounty hunters with Nest teams out there.
Oh, are there? Yes, that is certainly true. All right, what is this first question written into Discord?
All right, I got it up on the stream so you can all see it. But the first question is from Ski Trooper. Padme seems to like. I'm reading it wrong already.
She does.
Padme seems like the most effective General Skywalker counter. Do you agree with this assessment? And if so, what 5 do you prefer? Modding tips always appreciated.
Well,
I'll let you answer this one.
I think for General Skywalker counter with Padme, I mixed feelings on having 3PO in there because it kind of, I think it depends on how well you can make this team work. Padme, Ahsoka Tano, Jedi Knight Anakin, and Kenobi, I think, are required, basically. 3PO is nice, but he gives out so many buffs that you can't get to a point where you're just stacking damage like crazy on the other team. So Grandmaster Yoda is obviously a really good option, and I think that is probably the most effective, widely considered counter. And I think that's a great way to go. The benefit here is his character you can make incredibly fast. Thing that I hate about this is you have to remod him from the way you would standardly mod him under a Jedi Knight Revan team where it's entirely based on offense. So if you were to do this team, I would make General Kenobi the same as he would be on any standard Padme team, just absolutely loaded with health. Padme would be much different. She would not need to be slow. You'd actually want her quite a bit faster so that she can recycle her abilities and get more protection up out. You will kind of want more speed on everybody in general, to be perfectly honest. Speed becomes much more important just because you're not kind of waiting on things to happen. You want to get people, you want to get the damage out before they have an opportunity to get rid of your protection up, because this team has, of course, characters like Echo that can just kind of get rid of your buffs, and you don't want that to happen, obviously. Plus, team does a lot of damage anyway, and they're going to be eating through all that protection up. So I would focus a little bit more on speed than you would on a standard Darth Revan Malak counter, and make Anakin would stay about the same. So Katana speed up maybe a little bit. You could probably kind of leave her primarily offense and health based just because she gets called in all the time. And then Grandmaster Yoda, of course, being fast, you have the Foresight, which will help prevent some of that pup from getting dispelled, which is obviously pretty beneficial. And then, of course, General Kenobi. I think you're going to want him slow just because all of his abilities will create situations where you are then stacking more buffs on yourself, giving the opposing team even more damage output. So just mitigate that and let him hang out with his protection up and just take some smackins. And that's kind of what I would suggest.
We got some Midwestern sayings there, some smackins.
Some smackins, yeah.
No, we don't use that one over here on the West Coast. But I like it. Maybe I should start it. Don't make me lay down the smackins.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for them smackins. I tell you. I tell you what. You start getting too many buffs. Yeah. Gas will lay down the smackins.
He's gonna come and smackins your world.
All right. Let's move on to Stardog89's question. Do you think Five's unique ability is working as intended in 3v3 since he is technically not in the 5th spot?
I don't think it's working as intended in 5v5. So, do I think it's working as intended in 3v3? Probably not.
I think that it is if he's in the last spot, from what I've been able to tell. But I'm not 100% sure. I could kind of talk in either way, to be perfectly honest.
There are two options, and this is the only way to look at this question. There are two options. Either it doesn't work at all because there's no 5th spot, or it works and he's in the 3rd spot. So my advice is to never have him out of that 3rd slot in 3v3, just in case.
Yes, that's obviously, I mean, the suggestion here is just make sure he's in the last spot.
But my friends do call me Captain Obvious, so I just had to say it.
That is fair. Yeah, so I would just not risk it, but
there is no biscuit for risking.
If you see a Zeta 5 who's in the 2 slot, I would take advantage of that and go kill whoever the other guy is.
Attack with 2 C's. That's all I'm saying.
What?
It's a meme, dude. Come on.
Oh, I don't meme. I know Darhai does though, so why don't we go to his question? Do you think they will put Cam's shards in a second location, such as Galactic Bounties or a personal raid, or do I just not get him until 2022? The answer to this, obviously, you just have to wait until 2022.
Yeah, this is... I mean, if we continue to get 1 shard per TB, that's what, 150 months? 145 months? All right. So, that's way longer than 2022.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of mixed on this. I wouldn't be too terribly surprised if maybe they start putting some of his shards in like one of these new raids that they're talking about or something along those lines.
I would definitely be surprised. But I wouldn't be surprised if we all start beating it more readily as we continue to work these characters. Because I don't feel... I mean, our guy... The guy that beat it for us, Shintaro, shout out, Squeaks. He had all Relic 7 on his characters. So... And he beat it with a sliver of health left on who? Echo?
Rex, I thought.
It was either Echo or Rex. So he barely beat it with a sliver. Yeah. But I think that was just the way he was doing it. And I think he has a better idea of what to do better next time. And as long as he keeps recording it, once I get to my Relic 7, I'll have a better idea at that point. And I think a lot of us will be able to beat it when we're in that situation. Now, I don't know how many people... out there are fully devoted to getting theirs to all to Relic 7 at this very moment, but that is definitely seemingly what you need to get those cam shards. So
that is true.
I don't mind having any of them at Relic 7. It shouldn't take too terribly much besides signal data for me, because freaking signal data, but all mine but Arc Trooper are Relic 4 right now. So it won't take me too terribly long to get there. And I think that's beyond gearing ARC Trooper, Wat Tambor, and General Skywalker once I get him. I think that's going to be my main focus, is getting those guys up.
Yeah, for sure. And
So-
for me, it's Shaak T. I need to get her to gear 13. She's at gear 12, and she dies instantly, basically. So she's kind of worthless.
Yep. All right, Randy Marsh. How can I find the god mods everyone else has? I never get my speed secondaries to proc. I think I have 20 plus speed secondary. I'm trying to do the General Skywalker event, and I've got stronger tunes than the videos I've watched, but I can't match their speed, so I can't beat anything. First off, I want to say this. As far as Phase 2 went in the General Skywalker event, I feel like having a few of them relict is a good start, including, most importantly, in my opinion, General Kenobi, to stay, because he's getting rattled the entire time in that Phase 2. But I was able to beat it working on a kill order and strategy that was given to me based on speed, but I didn't change the speed on my characters, and I have very bad speed on my characters. So I think the main thing, at least as far as Phase 2 goes in that event, you want Padme stunning General Grievous over and over by using C-3PO and giving his buff to Padme, and having Shaak T call in C-3PO with her assist ability to bring down cooldowns, and everyone always being able to use their specials. And the event becomes very easy. I say very easy, and I know people are going to get frustrated with that, but it became very easy because everyone stayed alive, and we beat him while he was stunned constantly in Enrage, and he never got a turn. And it wasn't a speed-based thing, it was a strategy-based thing. So I think it all boils down to whether you can get... What is C-3PO's buff called?
The buff is translation.
So if you can get 3 buffs to translation on Shaak T and Padme at the end, you're going to be able to constantly stun General Grievous and whittle him down to the point where you can just kill him before he's able to kill any of your guys. And that wasn't a speed-based thing for me. So that's the part of the General Skywalker event, at least in one of the 2 phases. I haven't beat the other one yet. I haven't really even played it too much because of the mod stream, but I feel like it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have God mods on those characters. But as for the question of how can I find God mods, I've been playing since the game came out, and I have 0-20 speed secondaries. Despite...
Just to be clear, you also have a billion slicing material.
Yes, but here's the thing. And this is the only way... This is when I slice. I slice when I have a blue with a good chunk of speed on it. So anytime I've ever sliced, it has been all of my decent blue and purple mods or green mods that have speed on them. That's when I slice. That was always the most important thing. That was the only time I ever sliced. I've done a lot of speed slicing. Maybe not so much anything other stat-wise, but speed mod, I have sliced a ton. Like, that's literally all I've ever done is slice speed mods, and I don't get them either. So I understand the frustration, but it's not something that's easy, I guess. I don't know.
All right, so I have a little bit different thoughts on some of this. So, one, I think people worry way too much about speed. Yes, speed is important and it's good to have. So I'm going to answer this in 2 parts. First part being, I don't think speed's all that important. I think you should be looking for other stats, because if you're not hitting speed, you're hitting other stuff. And especially here with Gear 13, you need to be looking at characters that you do have at Gear 13, your best characters, and finding ways to make them useful without heavy speed. There are a ton of characters that that need other things, that need lots of offense because they attack a lot, that need a lot of health because they're in a health-based team. You have so many options. There are a lot of other good secondaries as well. Percent health, really good secondary. Both offenses, extremely good secondaries. Crit chance, very good secondary. all of those are extremely good and great to have. And so I would start looking for mods that have some of those other really good secondaries rather than just strictly looking at speed. Now, as for your question about just getting mods with better speed, slice more mods. Start looking for mods. I know people act like 20 plus is the holy grail, which, yeah, it's obviously fantastic. But honestly,
10 plus,
dude,
is my holy grail.
100%, dude. 10 plus is awesome. 13 to 15 is freaking amazing. To me, that's the sweet spot. Like, I would rather have mods with 10 to 15 speed that also have other good secondaries on them.
That just proc some offense or proc some health or proc anything to get a little bit extra there.
There are times, obviously, where speed is more beneficial. There's some characters where you flat out need speed on them. No doubt about it. I'm not disagreeing at all there. Nor am I trying to say it's not true or anything. But if you want to increase the speed secondaries, you need to be blowing your slicing materials. You need to be farming slicing materials. You need to be looking at all these mods all these blue mods. Take all your blue mods that are level 1 that you get from all these events that you get constantly. Take them to level 6. Then see which ones have speed on them. Start taking them up. Go back and watch the stream that I just did on GoodNightPunk's account and kind of the process that I follow. If it's blue and it's got 8 speed or higher, I'm slicing it. If it's purple and it's got 10 speed or higher, I'm slicing it. If it's green, it's got 4 or higher speed, I'm slicing it. I want to get to double-digit speed. I want to get 2 or 3 procs on it. That's my goal. Like a health primary, a 6-dot health primary with 10 speed is a damn good mod. I would love to have one of those for so many characters. I don't have enough of those. I love them. So I would say quit focusing so much on speed. Look more at the primary. Get a good primary with some nice speed and start modding characters more than just strictly based on speed. And of course, the more opportunities you take, the more you'll hit. You want more at-bats. To use a baseball analogy, you want as many opportunities as you can get. Get mods, slice them up, buy mods from the mod store. If you find a mod with secondary speed, buy it. It may not hit, but if it's a mod you already have a decent number of, try to find something that has 2 or 3 good stats. I bought a mod earlier today that had speed, offense percent, and health percent. There was no way I'm going to lose with that mod. Even if speed doesn't hit once, that mod will be used on someone. So I would just say, look for more than just speed.
I want to throw this out there too as well, just because I didn't really get to play the General Skywalker event last time. If you have the characters geared for the event, and that's a big if, I'm just throwing that out there. As far as Phase 2 goes, I haven't really played a lot of Phase 4, so this opinion might drastically change. But I had a lot of fun knowing what the strategy was to beat Phase 2 and playing it. It was actually fun for me. So
yeah.
Now, once again, I'm playing this much like Padme on the second go-around, but I don't think a lot has changed as far as this event compared to Padme because we didn't have reworks. But I don't know. I enjoyed playing it. I mean, I guess I just like hard things. Somebody,
that's what she said.
Don't clip that. All right, next question. What do you got from Matt Regan?
Oh, that's definitely getting clipped. Never mind. All right. Matt Regan asks, what do you think about CG not giving any gift to the players for Christmas? Every other game I play, including Marvel Strike Force, gave the players something. All we got were some horrible offers.
I don't care.
They did give us something. They gave us General Anakin Skywalker back early, which is an anti-gift to some and a gift to others. So
they
also brought back a lot of the assault battles. the assault battles, some Omega events. We had
There
a
have
lot
been
of that
so
stuff
many
over
freaking
those 2
events
days.
the last last 5 days have been ridiculous event-wise.
Yep. I've stocked up on a lot of Shard Shop currency and stuff because of those events. So they didn't necessarily send anything to the inbox, but they did give us
Yeah.
gift in some ways by giving us some of those events that we can then use for resources that we want to use them for. So I kind of disagree with your point to some degree, but I don't really play any other games, so I'm not sure what other games gave out. Maybe it wasn't balanced with what some of the other games did, and of course,
I mean,
would not have
okay,
complained
so
if they would have sent something in.
if
But
you-
they did also just send a big, huge care package last month for the 1 year anniversary or the 4-year anniversary of the game release.
Yeah.
So, or 3 or whatever.
So if you listen for a while, you realize that I picked up Marvel Strike Force this year, and I've been playing that every day. And they did give out some really, really good stuff for Christmas time. And it would have been nice for that to have been the same in Galaxy of Heroes, but I just look at it as all extra on top in that game. I mean, it would have been nice in this game, but I didn't expect anything because I don't think we've gotten anything really crazy for Christmas ever in this game. So I guess I didn't expect anything. I mean, I think we got a portrait one year or last year. I mean, there are a few small things, but I don't think we have ever gotten anything big for Christmas.
Yeah.
And a lot of times around Christmas, a movie has come out and they've been focused on that rather than Christmas stuff. So I don't know. I just didn't expect anything. So I wasn't upset that I didn't get anything. It is interesting that a lot of other games I do play did give out Christmas things. Like, so Destiny has an entire Christmas event that goes on for 3 weeks. Marvel Strike Force had login bonuses for about a week. Really good ones. Brawl Stars, which I play, had a lot of good skins and stuff that were they weren't even like gifts. They were on sale, so it's kind of like a pack. I mean, I've had both sides of the equation in the games I play during Christmas, so I don't think it was much different than anyone else.
All right. Ron Bunyan asked, do you think the Baby Yoda should have got his own set of Beskar armor?
I think you should listen to the Chosen Ones podcast for the answer to that one.
I think I agree.
Because I am not spoiling anything about that. Or not that specifically, because that question doesn't really have any spoiler in it. But if we want to talk about that,
Baby Yoda is not a spoiler at this point. If you use the internet, you're aware. So I don't. Yeah.
If you're not aware that Baby Yoda is a thing at this point, even without watching it, I would be surprised.
Yeah, that is fair. Tesh has a interesting question specifically for Dan.
Specifically, he tried to retcon one of my children. So the original question is, do the twins get the same exact presents for Christmas? Well, I have triplets, so the question still stands, but he tried to take away one of my kids. Do the triplets get the same presents? No. They're all different personalities, so they all get different things. The thing is, we all know they're going to share them anyway, so they pretty much all get presents, and then they all share them. So it's like they all get... So I guess it's kind of like they all get the same presents, because literally all of them, it all gets meshed into one big lump of presents, and they all play with it. So, but individually, they don't get the same presents. And
Gotcha.
Next part of his question, actually, real life, my brother's wife just had twins. What are some things that annoy you that other people do relating to your twins? Triplets, guy. Come on, Tesh. But they don't really do it anymore, but this has been the most annoying thing having triplets. And that is when you take them out. We used to have this stroller that had three spots in it. So you put 3 baby carriers in it. The same baby carriers you put in your car, you were able to put into the stroller, and they just kind of sat 3 straight in the stroller, and you pushed it around. Well, the biggest annoying thing to me is that I don't understand what goes through people's minds when they do this. Strangers coming up to my children and touching them especially touching their faces. Drives
Okay,
me
that's-
freaking crazy.
That's not just twin related.
That's
so
all
one of our-
kids, but
yeah.
that is the biggest thing that bugged me.
Well, funny story. Not too long ago, for Christmas, me and sultry female and one of our friends went out, and our friend, they just had a baby a month or two ago, and we go to a restaurant, and somebody's like, "Oh, your baby's so cute," and like getting all close, and like we're just standing there like, is she trying to touch the baby? And like I'm getting antsy over, somebody getting close to my friend's kid. I'm like you need to back up off the baby, like
lady, you don't know me. You don't know my children. I don't know
it.
I don't know what disease you carry. Please do not touch my baby's face.
It freaking baffles me beyond belief. I
guess the triplet part of it was that when you're pushing around a stroller filled with 3 tiny babies, it always attracts attention. So it seemingly happened a lot more often than it ever did with my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter.
That's fair.
No one ever came up to us when it was just one kid. But pushing 3 in a row, everyone always wanted to see what was going on. It was just, I don't know. Anyways.
Yep. All right, so we have 3 more questions we're going to knock out real quick. Stardog asks, would you well on the character if the Mandalorian came to the game? As a small dolphin that has never welled on a character, I would. I would be awfully tempted.
Here's the thing. What synergy does he have, and how good is he?
Well, that kind of depends, because if he had Baby Gizmo, as we like to call him, synergy, I would wail on that little guy.
I would wail on both of those. Yes,
I would wail hardcore.
Like the new wigs, Baby Yoda and Mandalorian.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, yep. They'd have put me in SeaWorld. And I think Sultry Female would be okay with it, actually.
Yeah, you could probably sell that one.
Shannon Tate asked, who will be better, Galactic Legend, Rey or Kylo? What do you think?
I like this. I like to subscribe to that theory someone put in chat earlier that that one will be good in one type of mode and the other in another mode. So I think they'll be better than each other in different spots. That's my guess.
I think I am going to say that I'm going to say that Kylo is going to be the better character because I have more First Order relict.
So you want him to be the better character.
That's another way of putting it, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I think Rey will probably be more beneficial to your roster, just because I think there are more Resistance characters that don't really have a home. First Order, I think they have a lot more options for leader abilities, so I think Galactic Legend Rey is just desperately needed.
I agree.
All right. The final question comes from Joker. What's the best counter in 3v3 to a Darth Revan team with or without Malak? Mirror match isn't an option because his Darth Revan is still undergeared. I am going to say this. I think that the best counter, even if undergeared, would be an undergeared Darth Revan team. Reason being because I tried that and it actually worked pretty well. I was very happy with the results. Went much better than I expected. Might be difficult to take out initially. 3v3. So 3v3 works as a nerf to General Anakin Skywalker and a buff to Malak, just because it's hard to fit enough characters on a team that can reliably kill a Malak. So I don't understand why everybody with 7-star Malak just doesn't put him on defense. I see General Anakin Skywalker on defense a lot. He is like, I'm sorry, that's just, it's nowhere near as good as Malak is. I guess the difference is it's very difficult to get points with your Anakin Skywalker, whereas a Malak team, you can get full banners, without too much effort. But as for countering it, I don't really have a great solution. I would probably try Thrawn. Thrawn might be a pretty good solution. These smaller matches, he can carry a little bit more of the load, I think. But I kind of like going mirror match because some of the other things that I tried just didn't go well. Didn't go well at all.
It's kind of sad because my biggest counter in our Grand Arena to Darth Revan and Malak has been the GG nuke team. But that's not a thing as far as I know for 3v3. So
yeah,
I'm mirror matching that all day long.
Yep, that is totally true. I do. I hate Malak in 3v3. It's just not something I particularly want to deal with. Give me Relic 7, Jero Anakin all day long over Malak. I'd much rather take my chances with that.
Yep.
Oof. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, no thanks.
Good luck.
Do
all
not
right.
like. Do not like.
Well, is there anything else that we have to mention?
We have to mention that if you enjoy this show and you enjoy the conversation and chat, there's a place where you can chat all week long if you go to discord.me/shatteredorder. We'll drop you in our Discord, and we have a lot of fun in there all week. A lot of talk about SWGOH, a lot of talk about a lot of different things. Mando has been a very big topic recently, as well as episode 9, all in their own channels, of course, so you don't have to worry about spoilers. But there's a lot of fun conversations going on Discord right now, so go check that out if you have never been to ours. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And then it's just other little small things like support for the show. If you like the show, there are ways to support us. You can go to Discord. I'm still on the Discord thing. You can go to patreon.com/shatteredorder. There are a lot of different options for you there, as well as Twitch Prime subs on Twitch. Always help us out. Both of those are great ways to help us to continue to expand this podcast, because without your support, we wouldn't be able to have started our Chosen One podcast, where we are now expanding outside of SWGOH into the bigger Star Wars world and really enjoying that on top of doing this show. So
For sure.
we thank you for all that support, and if you have any that you would like to give to us, we will always take it. But of course, everyone that listens and doesn't do either of those things, just listening to us supports us, as well as leaving reviews on iTunes and Spotify and all the places where you can review our podcast. Those help as well for other people to find us. So I just want to say again, like I always like to, thanks to this community for making this game what it is. We appreciate every single one of you that listen to this show and hang out with us on Discord and make this fun for us, even when the game sometimes seemingly isn't fun. You are the guys that keep, I can speak for myself, me going in the game. So I appreciate you guys.
No doubt about it.
All right, Wink, is that it? We got anything else for this week?
I think that covers it.
All right, everybody. We will see you next week for episode 178. And I haven't discussed it with Wink yet, but I want to say this. I am talking about New Year resolutions. What do we want? What do we want to accomplish this year? What are the types of things in this game for the new year that we just really would like to see? I think that is probably something we will cover next week. So look out for that.
Oh, I don't want to talk about how I'm going to be looking